Hi, I'm Arjun, and I'm a rising sophomore at Saratoga High School, and this is my first Milestone video. So for this video, what I'm doing is that I'm actually just creating a simple circuit with a flex sensor, so that when I bend the flex sensor, the output is outputted into the serial monitor on the Arduino IDE. And so for a demo, let me upload the code to the Arduino. And what happens on the serial monitor is that when it's straight, the voltage results are in 680 range, but then as I bend it more and more until it reaches 180 degrees like this, it goes all the way down to 370. And so how this works is that in this circuit, as you can see, the 5-volt power actually comes into the flex sensor, and then from there, and to make sure that the flex sensor doesn't overload, it goes into the resistor. And from the resistor it goes back to ground to complete the simple circuit. But the problem is that I couldn't find a place to take the voltage of the flex sensor as it was bending, because the problem was that I was putting it after it went through the resistor. So one of my problems was that all the results were coming as 0 in the serial monitor, because I was putting it after the voltage was already cancelled out with the resistor. So after talking to the instructors, I realized that I had to put the analog pin, I don't know if you can see, but in between the flex sensor and the resistor to make sure that I got the accurate voltage. And that's why now when I run the program, it starts at 680 and as I bend goes down to 300. Now there were a couple things that I learned while doing this, and one is that before I started this milestone I had no idea what a flex sensor was or how it worked. And while doing this I kind of learned how it worked. I learned how actually resistance goes up in a flex sensor, but the reason that mine went down is because it's voltage, which is the opposite of resistance when it comes to this particular milestone, this particular circuit. So that was one thing that I learned. And then I also learned so I hadn't coded in a while, so it did also help me reinforce how to code a simple circuit again and make it just syntax and all that. And so a couple struggles that I had were actually one, like I explained earlier, I didn't know where to take the voltage of the resistor, so I kept getting results that were 0. And so after talking to the instructors, I realized that I had to get they told me where I had to put the voltage and guided me, and that that was a struggle that I overcame pretty quickly. And then another struggle that I had was actually the first several times after I'd written my code, it didn't work in the IDE, and that was simply because I was on the wrong version of the IDE, so I had to download it and fix it again. So those were a couple struggles that I had. And for my next milestone, I'm using this flex sensor actually to turn a servo motor. Thank you for listening.